Welcome to the Carthage Insider, everyone, as we're just about a half hour or so away from the start of the women's basketball game this afternoon between the Carthage Lady Reds and Augustana Vikings. Thought it would be a great opportunity to visit with an old friend of Carthage College. Still works for the school and works as the assistant athletic director here at Carthage College, and former football coach here at Carthage, Tim Rux, and get a chance to catch up with him a little bit. The latest news out of Tim is inducted into the Wisconsin Football Coaches Hall of Fame this past year. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was awesome. To be honest with you, I found out about it last July, and I got inducted in March. July to March was the favorite. The induction itself was fine, but I didn't enjoy it as much as all the things that happened in between friends and family and that kind of stuff. So it was nice. I don't know if I deserved it, but they gave it to me. But I certainly took it in for all it was worth, and it was a great time in my life.
More than deserving, based on your longevity here at Carthage College, what you've done for the school, what you've done for the football program, and putting the program on the map. I mean, who can forget that 2004 campaign, which was, I thought, one of the most exciting times to be involved with Carthage football, maybe in the history of the school.
Well, I said this to the team when I talked to them. I said, this is the most exciting day ever, homecoming, when we had a 10-year reunion. I said, this is the most exciting day I've spent at Carthage. And maybe the second most, maybe the most exciting was win the conference championship. But it was just good to be back with those guys and see so many of them come. They had a count of 79 that came back, and it was a special day, and that was a special team.
Special. I actually got to take part in walking the field, and I got to tell you, that was part of my highlight for that homecoming weekend, was to walk the field like you used to do before every game.
Yeah, well, walking the field was a little different this year, and I'm walking a little slower now. But usually when we walked the field, I'd start 10 yards out ahead of the team on the end zone, and half of them would just pass me up. This year, I was way ahead of them, and I'm walking a lot slower. They wanted to take it in. They were enjoying it. Some of them had their kids out in carts, and they had their wives with them and stuff like that, and they wanted to take every second of it they could.
Refresh my memory. What made you go or do that as part of your pregame ritual?
It was, John, when I was on the National Football Committee, I had to do a playoff game down at Wabash, down in Indiana. And so I'm there for 2 days running the whole thing. And I noticed right before they got dressed, they walked the field. They'd line up on the end zone. The head coach would lead them down the field. They'd walk real slow, and then he'd turn around, they'd walk back, and they'd go get dressed. And a couple of weeks later, I called the coach. I asked him about it because it sort of impressed me. And he goes, it's a focus thing. We meet, then we walk the field. I never see him again until kickoff. And he goes, it's just a tradition here. And it's just something I started learning from that. And I'll tell you what, the walking the field thing is a big deal to these kids. I remember one time we played at North Park, and it was absolutely pouring rain. It might have been coming down at 3 inches an hour. And I was like, I called the captains up the front of the bus. I go, how about if we just go get dressed and not walk the field? They go, no, we're walking the field. And so then when we had this reunion thing, I had Brett Barnes, and I had Andy McDonald, I had Jason Kalinowski, are sort of my forefront people to help to get a hold of people. And I said, you tell me what you want to do on this day. Their biggest thing was, we want a pregame meeting and walk the field. And that was their biggest and only thing they wanted. They didn't need a big parade or anything like that. They wanted to walk the field one more time.
It was an amazing sight. 79 players back for that homecoming weekend. And what do you take away from that 2004 season? What's the biggest memory from that year?
I don't know. As I told the team in the pregame meeting, because I had to have a pregame meeting, I didn't know what I was going to say, but it's the best 3 weeks of my life. We just just how they just ran themselves. I remember the week before the first game, I was standing right next in practice to Greg Etter, and I said, "Do you see anyone coaching on this field?" And he got all nervous like I was mad. And I go, "No, do you see anyone coaching?" I said, "No." I go, "It's a self-run team right now. They're running themselves." I go, "That's why we're good." And but just to go from 3-7 to 11-2, pretty darn good. It doesn't happen. That's a record, you know. And
I was going to say +8 on the win total. That's pretty impressive.
yeah, and they're just good kids, and they hung with it. And we had the same kids on the 3-7 team as we had an 11-2 team, but they bought into it, and they bought into the coaches, and it was just satisfying. Like you did a good job of coaching.
Now, your new role now as assistant athletic director at Carthage College. How's that going? You've had a year to kind of sit and get situated into that.
Yeah, it's going really well. I've actually got a couple roles. I'm doing some first-year student advising and also assistant athletic director. So I think I'm doing 2 jobs in one, but I never minded work. And, you know, to be honest with you, when I go home at night, when I drive home at night, through the advising, because the kids get latched on to me and they come down to me and they see me and that type of thing, I can drive home at night thinking, I did some good things for young people today. And that's what I like. Now, I'm not doing it through football. I'd love to do it through football, but I'm still doing good things for young people. And as long as I've got that aspect to it, I'm a happy guy.
How much of that is from your mentor and former head coach Art Keller and what he did for the Carthage program?
Oh, Lord. Unless you got 20 minutes, I can go on for Art Keller for a while.
But I just see the parallel there between what Art did and how he did that for the kids and for the school. I see that in what you're doing here.
Well, I guess I could put it this way, because this happened 2 weeks ago, right before the start of Christmas break. There's 2 football players who used to play in this program, who I recruited and I played for, and they come down once a week, and we sit there and talk, we laugh, we joke, and you know, that type of thing. It doesn't go on very long, but it's 10 or 15 minutes. I told them, I said, the greatest, I was a 3.7 student and double major at Carthage. I said, but my best experience at Carthage was in the off season when me, Ray Pentenuzzo, Bobby Aslan, and Carl Hipshin and myself would go down and we'd at 3:15 in the afternoon and we'd talk to Coach Art and he would entertain us. But we had total respect for him, and I think he had respect for us too. But that's all part of the Division III experience. That's all what I think should be part of the Carthage experience, and through what I do in athletics, I think I can continue that.
It is the Carthage experience, because this is what we do at Carthage College, and that is offer the experience of personalization and getting into working with students one-on-one and not letting them feel or ever have to feel they're a number here, that they're taken as a human being and they contribute to the college.
Right, and Carthage has to be Carthage, and that's what Carthage is. It's a great education, great athletic opportunities and whatever, but like you say, the personalization thing is awesome. And that's what I relish and what I look forward to. And even though I'm not the football coach anymore, this does happen. Once I get out of bed, I'm in a rush to shower and get to work. And I'm thankful that that still exists. You know, it's a place I want to be.
Well, you're not so much away from the football anymore. Talk about your experiences with the junior team that you've had the last couple of years, coaching the youngsters, the little ones, the 8, 9, 10-year-olds. You've had some. I've seen some plaques up there for some conference championships. You've had some fun doing that as well on the side.
Yeah, I did. You know, it was different, but not different. You know, they just have high energy, and I don't have children myself, but you never know what they're going to say, and it just cracks me up and keeps you young and everything else. But there's a little competitive thing, too. I think in youth league football, some coaches are overly competitive. But all of our kids play. They equal amounts. They have fun. I have a rule. I'm not the head coach. Terry Phillip is the head coach. He's a good friend of mine. And but I got a rule with the defense. I have to go out in the field because you got to tell them where to line up and that type of thing. And but whether we give up a touchdown or do good, they got to give me a high five before they leave the field. I want them to enjoy it, and I enjoy being out there, and I look forward to my Thursdays and Sundays.
As we kind of wrap this up here in the next couple of minutes, how's the health? I know everybody asks me about how you're doing and health-wise and everything else, and I can tell them, hey, he looks just great. He's just moving along.
People ask me that all the time. I go, how do I look? I'm fine. I don't walk as fast. I understand that, but I'm walking, and I exercise every day. I'm doing great. And, I got a doctor up at St. Luke's in Milwaukee, and I got 2 other doctors, and they're like going, you're great. The heart doctor 4 weeks ago said, I don't even need to see you for another year. So I was seeing him once a month, then it went to 3 months, then it went to 6 months. He goes, just make an appointment. You're doing fine. So, yeah, I'm doing good. I feel good, energetic, all that.
Now the next thing, we've got, you're in the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame. What's it going to take to get into, I see the plaque, I see that up there, right above the desk. What's it going to take to get Art Keller in there?
That was my one, to be quite honest, embarrassment or disappointment about getting this. Why isn't Art in there? I don't know why. I actually, when I was up there, I talked to some of the people I said, we got to take another look at this. I go, I feel a little embarrassed being in the Hall of Fame and Art's not in there. Look at his record, 169 and 73. It's better than my record. And he certainly was a good person. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it. If there's someone there that is in his way, but I think he should be in the National Coaches Hall of Fame. And I've filled out all the forms to get him in there twice in the last 20 years. So twice I've done that, and he's not gotten in that, and I don't know. I just don't know. Does he? Oh, yeah, he deserves to be there. There's no question. And maybe, I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. But, I talked to Bob Berezowitz after the Hall of Fame banquet, and he's on the committee, and he goes, why is Art not in here? And I said, I don't know. You guys got to tell me. And because he's more deserving than me. But hopefully it'll happen. I'd like to see it happen for Bev. And I thought it would happen this year, but he didn't get in this year either. I don't know. I thought with me going in, then he would go. But I don't know. I have no answer for you, John.
We'll keep pushing that. Yeah. But as we wrap this up, what's the one big... You've been in Carthage a long time, and both as a student, player, coach. What's the one thing you take away from your entire Carthage experience?
I don't know. I got that award in the spring, the Beacon Award for alumni, and that was a big crowd there, and it was a formal dinner and all that stuff.
So you had to wear a tie?
You had to wear a tie, and so I told him, I said, I love Carthage. And I keep thinking to Mike Ditka, who got fired from the Bears. And he goes, I'll always be a Bear. And I guess that's where I'm at. I'll always be a Carthage guy.
Well, you certainly are a mentor and an inspiration to me. All the years we did football and covered football for you and got to visit with you, you still always have a smile on your face and a joke and a quick line. I always appreciate that, and you make my life better here at Carthage, and I want to thank you.
Yeah, well, I'd like to thank you, too, because I think when I stopped coaching, I think I told you, maybe by email or by voice or whatever, but I never heard you broadcast the game because I was on the sidelines. And you're really good. and you do good things for Carthage, and you're very professional, and especially sometimes with just one person in the box. I mean, the way you carry a game is really, really good. And the things you do for Carthage and the things you do for the community and your radio station is awesome.
Thank you. And I get that from one coach I knew some time ago.
Thank you.
Former head football coach Tim Rux, now the assistant athletic director here at Carthage College, our guest today on the Carthage Insider. Stay tuned. We've got the Lady Reds pregame show coming your way next, and it's basketball this afternoon from the Tarble Arena. Carthage Lady Reds taking on Augustana, followed by the Redmen and Augustana. All that next, right here on AM 1050 WLIP. Conference opener this afternoon from the Tarble Arena in Kenosha as the Carthage Lady Reds get set to take on the Augustana Vikings. Good afternoon, everyone. John Weiser with you live from the Tarble Arena as we get set for women's basketball to kick off our doubleheader today. The Redmen and Augustana will wrap things up here in the men's basketball game at 4 o'clock this afternoon. So plenty of room for you out here at the beautiful Tarble Arena. So come on down and enjoy some exciting college basketball. Lady Reds at 7-4. They stumbled a bit in their last time out in the Carthage Lady Reds Classic tournament here at the Tarble Arena, as they knocked off Manchester on Monday night and then fell to St. Thomas of Minnesota in a really rough ball game, if you will, from the Lady Reds' perspective, as they had it taken to them by the Tommies from St. Thomas by a final score of 67-45. Lady Reds were able to cut that deficit down to 3 at one point in the second half, but that's as close as they would get in that loss to St. Thomas. That loss snapped a 3-game winning streak for the Reds, also ended their 14-game home winning streak that span over 2 seasons. So the Lady Reds looking to start a new streak here this afternoon against Augustana, a team they have dominated of late. The Vikings come in at 6-5, and they are 2-4 away from the Carver Center in Rock Island. Lady Reds have won 19 straight games against Augustana, and the Vikings have dropped 10 in a row here in Kenosha. They have never won a game here in the Tarble Arena. So it'll be interesting to see how this transpires here today. As this is a group, this Augustana team graduated 4 seniors from a year ago, responsible for roughly 40 points and 20 rebounds. As you look at the numbers, 65 point per game, while holding their opponents to 62%. Even on the field goal percentages, 40% apiece, and a little bit better shooting the ball, 3-point range. And that's the difference, really, with this Augustana team this year. They are shooting the 3-point ball much better than they did a year ago at nearly a 35% clip. They're a +1 on the glass rebounding and about even on the turnovers. So this is a team that you're going to have to defend the arc and not allow the 3-point shooters to do their thing. They will play a 4-guard lineup here today. We will see a lot of that throughout the ball game this afternoon. They do have one outstanding post player of any height to be concerned with, and that's Marissa Petsapani. Petsapani is a 6-foot junior, and she is out of Wooddale, Illinois, averaging 14.7 points and 6 rebounds per game. She also has 12 block shots to her credit this year. She was the second leading scorer on the team last year with 9 points per game. She also led the team in block shots a year ago. So she will be the one to reckon with in the paint. But then you've got the 4-guard play led by Valerie Van Royen. Van Royen is an 11-point per game scorer, but she is shooting nearly 43% from 3-point range. She's a senior guard out of Grays Lake, Illinois, and was the Vikings' defensive MVP a year ago. So she will get it done on both ends of the floor, but watch out more for her scoring than anything else as far as that 3-point shooting is concerned. So it's the Carthage Lady Reds and Augustana this afternoon from the Tarble Arena. We'll visit with head basketball coach Tim Bernero. We'll get his thoughts on this afternoon's ball game after we take this short 60 break. This is Lady Reds basketball on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP. Welcome back to the Tarble Arena, everyone, as we get set for a doubleheader this afternoon. The Lady Reds set to take on Augustana, joined now by head women's basketball coach Tim Bernero. And Tim, You talk about learning experiences. That last game against St. Thomas, I think, really underscored the differences between how to get to that level and what needs to be done to get to that level.
Right, and we've been at that level. I mean, for the last 5 or 6 years, and kind of losing some kids through graduation, kind of still trying to find our way with this team, and then on injuries jumping up and kind of getting in the way of us getting into our rhythm. But that was we've been on the other side of that one before. That was a really good job by St. Thomas, and that's it's the one where you felt like, other than the play, Mrs. Lincoln, what'd you think? Kind of it was rough. It was there was we started out, and it was we didn't score for whatever 5 minutes. We lose one of our starters to injury, and then all of a sudden you look up and it's 20-2, and I give our kids credit. We fought back and got within 3, but we've kind of talked about it. We had they punched us in the mouth, and we kind of let it happen until all of a sudden we're like to the point where, hey, we're going to get embarrassed here, and we got to kind of fight back, and got to within the manageable distance, but then they got on a roll again. Good job by them, not a good job by us, and the result was what it was.
Speaking of the injury, Erin Quinn was the injured player. She's been battling a shoulder problem today. I see she's not dressed today and wearing a sling. What's the update there?
Yeah, she banged that shoulder around a couple weeks ago and was working through it, and then took a pretty good shot early in the game against St. Thomas, and so she's out today. And I hate to be cliched, but day by day or day to day, I mean, I think she's, she feels a lot better than she did a couple days ago, and just without having time to get her prepared for this game, it didn't make a lot of sense to throw her out there now and make it worse for the duration of the conference season. So we'll go a different way today, and kids always want opportunities. Well, there's opportunities now for some of the kids that either didn't play or didn't play as much. So here's their chances, and we practiced accordingly, and I think we'll be all right.
Allison Riley will be the one that gets the step up into the starting lineup today, and she's had the experience. She's played in this program for a while now, and seems ready to fill that position.
Yeah, she has a nice skill set. We've got to make sure she keeps her calm about her as far as just playing the game simply. I mean, when there's shots available, take them. When there's drives available, take them. Being a good defender, she's been a very good rebounder. We've kind of made her kind of a jack of all trades this year with the injuries earlier in the year. So she's played some in the post. She's playing now on the wing. So she'll have a chance. Ashley Cunningham will get more minutes than she has before. With Morgan Harris getting a lot of opportunity, Morgan Vukovic, those kind of kids will probably, I don't want to say benefit, but they'll have the opportunity to get more minutes here given the situation.
That's always a good thing. That's why you depth. That's why you recruit.
Right, and that's the thing. It's some of it's unproven. I was thinking about that yesterday. Is that we've got Taylor and Lex have played really well. They're doing a good job and everything. But they were our 3rd and 4th last year behind a 1,000-point scorer and an all-region player. So that's our depth last year in the last couple years was pretty good because they were obviously starter level players. These kids haven't achieved that level yet. They haven't developed to that level. I think some of them will be, but it's right now we're not as sure of what we're going to get there. But I think they're prepared.
Your opponent today, Augustana, the Vikings come in with a record of 6-5. They did not play well on the road at all last year. I think they were 0-11, 0 for 7 in the conference on the road. Different look team this year. They graduated 4 starters from a year ago, and not much height, but they seem to be a little bit better shooting the ball on the perimeter.
Right. They've sort of changed styles a little bit, and sometimes when the program's kind of building its way up like they are, I think you get a certain cycle of players that while they're good players, don't exactly meet what you're trying to get done, or you might want to try a different style. The last couple of years, they were very physical. They didn't shoot the ball particularly well from all around, but while being physical, they weren't overly tall. So they had a tough time scoring and stuff. Now, like you said, they've gone to smaller lineups, almost a 4-guard lineup exclusively. Although the 1 guard's 5'10", that we can match up with, but now they've kind of expanded and they've become a better 3-point shooting team. They've got a very good point guard who kind of orchestrates things for them, and they've got a post player that can score.
And that was written on the board as we were visiting earlier on the whiteboard in the locker room. Got to defend the 3-point, be aware of the shooters.
Right. And in the past, they only had one. They had the Etheridge kid that graduated last year that you had to tend to, and the other kids weren't either up to that yet or weren't free to play that way. Now they play with a little different freedom on the perimeter, and there's some younger kids that can shoot it, and they've proven that in their non-conference. So now we've got to go out and try to take some of that away from them. And you always know the level of the conference games, no matter what conference it is, that it changes. The familiarity and how teams play each other, and what they know from year to year, or from just seeing personnel year to year, it makes it a little tougher. So we'll hopefully make it harder for them to get going.
Well, let's draw it up. The Blueprints for Success segment, sponsored by Riley Construction. What do you have?
I think it's about making sure we're guarding their personnel correctly. We can't give those perimeter shooters free looks. We've got some keys in our sets defensively about how to play their sets and force them to places they don't want to go to. I think we got to make it really difficult for their post player to get the ball comfortably in the post. I mean, because she can score if you get her in a little rhythm, and we want to kind of frustrate her early. So, and for our offensive part, we have to be ready to make plays. We have to be aggressive. You could see that the other day. We didn't get aggressive till we were behind. Now, we get inside. We were really good, but it was kind of too late the other day, and we got to get our perimeters going a little bit better than they were the other day.
It's our Blueprints for Success, brought to you by Riley Construction. Let them make your job easier. A member of the U.S. Green Building Council, and of course, a proud partner of Carthage College Athletics. Tim, good luck. Go get them.
Thanks, John.
Head basketball coach Tim Bernero joining us on our pregame. Lady Reds basketball kicking off our doubleheader coverage today. Lady Reds and Augustana coming your way next. We're just about set for that tip-off this afternoon, as things starting a little bit earlier than normal here, a couple of minutes early. So we're going to get ready for our national anthem here this afternoon, and then it's women's basketball, Lady Reds and Augustana, followed by the Redmen and the Vikings in the nightcap. Let's head downstairs to our PA announcer here at the Tarble Arena, Adam King.
A former Carthage student who died in Vietnam in 1970. The flag's a gift to the college from his parents. In remembering Captain Vavrin, we pay tribute to all who have sacrificed their lives for our country, and honor those who today put themselves in harm's way in service to America. To honor America, please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Our national anthem this afternoon from the Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Let's get the starting lineups for you. Once again, we head back downstairs to Adam King with the starters for Augustana and your Carthage Lady Reds.
Let's meet the Vikings starting lineup. A 5'5" sophomore guard out of Green Oaks, Illinois, number 15, Olivia Mayer. A 5'7" senior guard out of Grayslake, Illinois, number 21, Valerie Van Royen. A 5'10" junior guard out of Burr Ridge, Illinois, number 30, Andrea McNally. A 5'4" sophomore guard out of Silvis, Illinois, number 33, Jen Van Watermeulen. And a 6-foot junior center out of Wooddale, Illinois, number 34, Marissa Pezzapani. The head coach for the Vikings is Mark Benborn. He's assisted by Gary Altman and Britt Kodev. Are you ready? And now let's get the starting lineup for your Carthage Lady Reds. At guard, a 5'6" junior from Richmond Byrne High School. From Spring Grove, Illinois, number 11, Aaron Thomas. At forward, a 6-foot junior from Lincoln Way North High School. From Frankfort, Illinois, number 10, Taylor Boardman. At forward, a 6-foot junior from Roselle Lake Park High School. From Itasca, Illinois, number 3, Alexis Hahn. At guard, a 5'9" senior from Cudahy High School. From Cudahy, Wisconsin, number 22, Allison Riley. At guard, a 5'6" senior from Shoreland Lutheran High School. She's out of South Milwaukee, Wisconsin, number 20, Casey Kleiner. Your Lady Reds head coach is Tim Bernero. He's assisted by Maggie McCloskey.
So we're set for basketball, a doubleheader this afternoon from the Tarble Arena. Erin Quinn is not in the starting lineup this afternoon. As you heard, Allison Riley taking her place. Quinn injured her shoulder in the game against St. Thomas the other night, and so she is on a day-to-day basis with that sore shoulder, so she is not available today. So it will be Allison Riley in the starting lineup for Erin Quinn. Lady Reds in the white jerseys, white shorts trimmed out in the red numerals and black striping. Augustana navy blue jerseys, navy blue shorts with the gold and navy blue trimmed lettering. Mayer, Van Royen, McNally, Van Watermeulen, and Pezzapani on the floor for the Vikings. Hahn, Boardman, Riley, Kleiner, and Thomas. It'll be Boardman jumping center against Pezzapani. And the opening tip brought down by the Lady Reds, and they'll work it left to right as we start our ball game here this afternoon from the Tarble Arena. A zone look here, kind of a matchup zone look. Now they go into man. As Kleiner over the top, feed down low to Boardman, low right, lays it up and in. Kleiner on the feed that time from the right wing down to the right block to Boardman for the layup. 2-0 Carthage. Carthage in man-to-man defense here as they get things started defensively. Work it off into the near corner with it is Van Royen. Van Royen driving to the basket, lays it up and in. Got a step around Riley that time and was able to get around her to the basket. Ties the game at 2. Hahn over to Thomas. Inside it goes to Boardman. Turn around left-hand hook. Oh, rattle off, no good. Hit the glass and then too hard off the rim and fell out that time for Boardman. Back the other way, and we got a travel as trying to take the ball to the basket was Van Royen for Augustana. Whistled for the walk. Game tied at 2. We're a minute in. Carthage facing full court pressure here on the inbound. Thomas able to break it across to Hahn. Gets it to Kleiner. Kleiner skates through the paint and circles back to the right. Dumps it out to Riley, to Hahn. Back to Hahn now for the 3. That one's no good. Rebound pulled in by Pezzapani. Back come the Vikings the other way. Pezzapani with it. On the dribble, now gave it off. McNally. Back the other way to Mayer. Cross-court feed left side it goes. McNally for the 3. That's no good. Rebound Thomas. Thomas will take it across midcourt. A pass intended for Kleiner, knocked out of bounds by the Viking defender. It was Mayer who knocked that one out. Carthage will retain possession. 18-14 to go, first half. Game tied at 2. Riley off to Thomas. Now gets into the hands of Kleiner. Top of the circle jumper. That scoots off no good. The rebound pulled in by Pezzapani. Carthage 1 for 4 now shooting the basketball. Three-pointer up and in. Over the top. Pezzapani for the 3. taking the 3 ball that time for Petsapani. Known for 3-point shooting, does not take many of them. Matter of fact, that's just her 6th made 3-pointer in 18 attempts. 5-2 Augustana back the other way. Hahn fouled, count it, and one upcoming for Alexis Hahn. Low right that time. Able to draw the foul and the bucket. Foul's going to go on McNally. That is her first, and this will put Hahn on the free throw line for the Lady Reds. Alexis Hahn, team's leading scorer at 12.6 per game. Finishes up the 3-point play. Ties the game at 5. 17 and a half minutes to go here in the first half. On the right wing, McNally with it. Looking for some help. And Petsapani not quite sure if she was going to set the screen or not. Now they work it off to Van Watermeulen. Now back into the hands of McNally. Outside shot as the shot clock goes dark. Petsapani with another long-range jumper. This one just inside the 3-point arc. And Petsapani with 5 points here in the first half. 7-5 Augustana. Now Thomas back up top to Kleiner. Working left side to Riley. Inside to Hahn, low left, goes strong, count it, and one. Alexis Hahn with her second trip in the paint, able to draw the foul, low left. Foul committed by Mayer, her first. And another 3-point play attempt upcoming for Alexis Hahn. Nails the free throw. Much better start to her game here tonight. 8-7, Carthage with a 1-point lead. Now Olivia Mayer with it, works it off near wing in the hands of Van Watermeulen. Back to Mayer. Now up top it'll go Van Royen to Van Watermeulen. McNally with it, left side, works it inside to Petsapani, turnaround jumper, left of the free throw line. That one rattled out no good. Rebound Allison Riley. She'll lead it down for the Lady Reds. On top of the circle, now forces it inside. Boardman going strong to the basket, lays it up and in. Boardman with a strong post move that time in the paint on the feed from Hahn. Just took her man right down to the floor that time on that spin around shot. 10-7, Reds up by 3. Now McNally tried to dribble through and traveled with it. Got stood up in the paint that time by Alexis Hahn. Got the ball hung up on her hip and caused the travel that time. Good defensive work by Hahn. Turning the ball back to the Lady Reds. 10-7, Reds up by 3 here. 15:35 to go here in their first half. Shot partially blocked that time by Van Royen, and Van Royen will lead the play back the other way on the breakout and will lay it up and in. Van Royen got her hand on the attempted shot that time by Casey Kleiner, and it got tipped out toward midcourt where Van Royen picked it up and took it all the way down for the easy deuce. Now back the other way. Boardman going strong to the hoop, had it blocked out of her hands by McNally. Carthage will retain possession right of the basket here with 19 seconds to go on the shot clock. There's a substitution here for the Vikings. Victoria Allen will check in, a 5'6" freshman out of Wildwood, Missouri. Kleiner now will work it off to Thomas. Back to Boardman, top of the circle, around to Riley on the right wing. Now gets it back to Kleiner. Kleiner back to Thomas, 6 on the shot clock, and Thomas traveled. Took that little crow hop before she put the ball down. Seeing more and more of that being called. Little slide step or shuffle, if you will, before the ball hits the floor, and called for the travel that time. First turnover of the ball game for the Lady Reds. 10-9, Reds in front. 5 minutes in. Now the drive to the basket, a whistle and a foul on the way to the basket. Go on Aaron Thomas that time. Two-hand check that time on the dribble drive. by Van Royen. Vikings will get it in. Works it up top and a travel by Van Royen. Tried a head and shoulder fake, but shuffled the feet in the process, turning the ball back over to the Lady Reds. So Thomas will bring it across now for Carthage. Thomas inside to Boardman. Boardman turnaround in front of three players. Oh, that rattled out again. Soft shot. It just bounced around the rim and fell off. No good. Rebound the other way for the Vikings now. Try and lob it inside for Pezzapani. It's intercepted by Boardman. Van Royen that time looking to feed Pezzapani, and Boardman able to step in front of Pezzapani to intercept that pass. Riley on the drive, puts one off the glass and down. Allison Riley, her first points in a starting role here tonight. In for the injured Aaron Quinn. 12-9, Reds by 3. And Riley with a poke out and the steal, and then we got a whistle and a foul. As Riley took the ball away from Van Royen, it skipped off to Casey Kleiner, and Kleiner fouled, trying to dribble out of traffic. Morgan Harris in for the Lady Reds. Harris, the 5'5" freshman out of Arlington Heights. Also in for the Vikings. Got one substitution in for the Vikings as well. That was Kayla Freeman. So they get it up and in. Alexis Hahn from the free throw line. A little jumper that time, able to hit it. And the cutoff that time, Mayer turned the ball over as her attempt to drive the basket, lost control of it. Kleiner picks up, out to Riley for the three, out of the right corner and hits. A 7-0 run here for the Lady Reds, and they've opened up a 17-9 lead. Timeout, Augustana. After going 1 for 4 to start the ball game, Lady Reds now have gone 5 out of their last 8. Make that 6 out of their last 9, and they have taken the lead here, 17-9. A 7-0 run by the Lady Reds. Carthage 53% from the floor right now, 7 of 13. Augustana 4 for 6, but Vikings have turned it over 6 times so far. So the Vikings will bring it up from the full court. With it is Mayer, and we got a whistle and a foul on the dish by Mayer as she got down into the low left block.
Foul, number 10, Taylor Boardman.
Go on Boardman, that is her first. Second on the Lady Reds here in the half. Vikings will inbound right of the basket. They'll go all the way up top to Carly Adams. Now working it is McNally. Works it back to Mayer. Mayer to the free throw line, in the paint, nowhere to go. Good defensive presence by Morgan Harris that time. Shot taken on the outside by McNally, and then the rebound and the stick back goes down for Carly Adams. Adams with the stick back, 17-11. Whistle away from the play.
In your Lady Reds lineup, number 21, Ashley Cunningham.
So turnover by the Lady Reds here. On the drive to the basket, whistle and a foul. Olivia Mayer driving the hoop that time.
Foul, number 14, Morgan Harris.
Morgan Harris picking up the foul, her first. And And the third on the Lady Reds, and our first free throw of the ball game. It'll be Olivia Meyer at the line. That one rattles out, no good. Meyer, a 58% free throw shooter on the year. Averages just under 7 points per ball game. Second one up and in. 1 for 2 that trip. Makes it a 17-12 ball game. Lady Reds in the lead. 12-10 remaining here in our first half. Kleiner for 3, top of the circle. That rattles off, no good. Loose ball, out of bounds off Morgan Harris. Rebound took that goofy angle off the rim, off the left side, and struck Morgan Harris and went out of bounds. So the Vikings will bring it up. Working with it is Mayer. And we got a walk, an extra step taken on the attempt to pull up the dribble that time by Carly Adams, turning the ball over. That's the 7th turnover committed by Augustana here in the first 9 minutes. So Morgan Harris will bring it across. Looks it off to Casey Kleiner. Kleiner with the dribble, top of the circle. Gets it off to Ashley Cunningham. To Riley. Now inside it goes to Hahn, low right. Missed the shot. The rebound pulled away by Van Rooyen. Back come the Vikings. Allen had it. Now sets it up on the perimeter. Mayer drops below the three-point line. Top of the circle. Now they dish it off on the drive to the basket. The layup is good by Victoria Allen. First 2 points of the afternoon for Allen. 17-14. So a little bit of a run here by the Vikings. 5-0 run themselves here. Hahn, 12-foot jump shot left side, good. Alexis Hahn starting to heat it up. She's in double figures already with 10. A whistle and a foul as Carly Adams got Allison Riley to leave her feet that time, trying to defend her. Got the hands extended and commits the foul.
Into the Vikings lineup, number 33, Ben Watermüller. Number 10, Freeman. In your Carthage lineup, number 11, Thomas, and number 10, Boardman.
Taylor Freeman in now, and Jen Van Watermeulen in also for the Vikings. Morgan Vukovic in. Taylor Boardman back in. And Aaron Thomas back in for the Lady Reds. 10:45 to play, 19-14. Lady Reds in front. With it now is Allen. Kicks it back outside to Van Watermeulen. Step back 3 on the way. That's an air ball out of bounds taken by Van Watermeulen. Sophomore out of Silvis, Illinois. Playing with a brace on that right knee. Recovering from a knee problem earlier this year. Morgan Harris will bring it up. 10:20 to go, first half. 19-14, Lady Reds in front. Morgan Vukovic around to Boardman. Taylor Boardman off to Ashley Cunningham. Up top to Aaron Thomas. Around the right side to Morgan Harris. And we got a travel on Harris. Shuffled the feet before she put the ball on the floor. Now Cassidy Rice, a freshman, 5'10", out of Marseilles, Illinois, in for the Vikings, who trail by 5. They'll have the ball. Van Watermeulen with it, works it off near wing. Van Rooyen, and we got a whistle and a foul on the dribble drive by Van Rooyen. Foul's going to go on Morgan Vukovic. So that is her first, the 5th on the Lady Reds. They get it in quickly. Van Rooyen will take the jumper left side. That's no good. Boardman controls the rebound for Carthage. 19-14, Lady Reds in front. 9:50 to play first half. Harris now works it off to Cunningham. Up top to Boardman. Around the left side to Thomas. Now to Morgan Harris. She'll attempt the 3. That one off the front of the rim and down. The old diving board splash into the twine that time for Morgan Harris. Hit off the front of the rim. Went straight up and down. 22-14. Shot taken that time. Ball loose. Picked up by Van Watermeulen. She goes right to the basket and lays it in. Jen Van Watermeulen with the bucket. 22-16. Reds in front by 6 here. There's the 9-minute mark remaining in our first half. Vukovic off to Thomas. Thomas now finds Boardman. Left block. Turn around with the left hand. Partially blocked by Petsapani. It's taken away by the Vikings. Job by Petsapani. She leads the team in blocks. That's her 13th of the season. Now Cunningham able to poke one out. Ball loose near midcourt. Goes off of Cunningham, out of bounds. Good hustle by Ashley Cunningham. McNally will check back in for the Vikings. Casey Kleiner back in for the Lady Reds. McNally will trigger the inbounds at midcourt. Tim Bernero and Ron Kirk, the official, having a discussion about the call earlier. Took away the possession for the Lady Reds. Still having an animated discussion down there at the bench. This play continues here. With it is Van Watermeulen. Van Watermeulen backs the dribble off. Now swings it out to Van Royen. Van Royen on the right wing with 10 to shoot. Now feeds Victoria Allen. Allen off to McNally in the paint. Back outside and able to hit is Cassidy Rice. Tied up on the inside. McNally then kicked it out to Cassidy Rice. She was able to knock down the triple. 22-19. Lead down to 3 here for the Lady Reds with 8:05 to play first half. And a moving screen violation on the Lady Reds. Inside. Vukovic picking up the foul. Her second. She will come out. Alexis Hahn back in for the Lady Reds. So Vikings will bring it up here. Under 8 minutes to go in the half. Victoria Allen works it up top into the hands of Cassidy Rice. Rice on the drive, going up with the left hand, blocked out of bounds by Alexis Hahn. Vikings will inbound left to the basket here. Ball poked away by Boardman, picked up by Thomas. Thomas will lead the breakout the other way. Gets it off to Kleiner in the left corner. Back over to Thomas. Now up top to Hahn. We got a whistle and a foul. Contact in the paint between Boardman and Valerie Van Royen. And Van Royen picks up the foul. 4th team foul on the Augustana Vikings. They were kind of engaged in a little bit of hand-to-hand combat there inside, trying to stake out position on that left block. And it was Van Royen who got called for the foul. Harris inbounds to Boardman. Boardman knocked to the floor and the foul called. Boardman missed the shot, but will get to the line to shoot a pair of free throws here. First 2 attempted by the Lady Reds here tonight. So the foul on McNally, her second. That will put Boardman on the line for 2. And missing on the front end, Taylor Boardman. 3rd leading scorer on the team at 10.4 points per game, but just 51% from the line this year. Makes the second. Allison Riley will check in for Morgan Harris. 23-19, a 4-point Lady Red lead. They led by as many as 8 here in this first half. Vikings working the perimeter. With it up top is Meyer. Gets it back into the hands of McNally. Back to Mayer now. Takes the drive around the right side. Picked up by Kleiner. Cross-court feed. Left side it goes to Freeman. Now back into the hands of McNally. Wild 3 as the shot clock expired is no good. Rebound pulled in by Kleiner. Kleiner down the floor to Morgan Herron. Or to Aaron Taylor, I should say. Works it around to Boardman. Now to Riley. Up top to Thomas. Thomas for 3. Got it. Aaron Thomas for the triple, deep behind the line, just to the right of the free throw line. First points of the game for Thomas, 26-19. The lead out to 7. 6.5 minutes to go. Turnaround shot no good. Taken by Petsapani, and the rebound pulled in by Riley. Gives it off to Thomas. Thomas across midcourt. Works it back to Hahn. Hahn looks to Boardman inside. Little head shoulder fake. Tried to go up strong for the shot and drew the foul. Petsapani was there along with the other Viking player. And it's going to go on McNally. That's her third. 6-team foul on the Vikings. That'll put Boardman on the line for 2. And Boardman missing the front end. 1 for 3 today on the stripe. Devin Absher will check in now for the Vikings for the first time this afternoon. She will replace McNally. McNally leaving with no points and 3 fouls. Second one up and in for Taylor Boardman. 1 for 2 again on that trip. Bumps the lead out to 8, 27-19. 6:10 to play here in our first half. Mayer with it, high on the right side. Feeds Petsapani down low, got around Boardman, missed the shot. Boardman able to get the rebound. Kept Petsapani off the glass that time with her body. Able to get the rebound and hand it off to Aaron Thomas. Thomas now on the drive, lost her defender. Works it off to Kleiner, to Hahn, back inside. They go to Boardman. Boardman tripped up on her way to the basket and will go back to the line. Go on, Petsapani colliding with Boardman in the paint. That's the 7th team foul, so that will put the Lady Reds on the line now for the remainder of the half, and Boardman back at the stripe. She is 2 for 4 on the line. Make it 3 out of 5 as she hits the front end. 7 points this afternoon for Taylor. Alexis Hahn leads all scorers with 10 today. Boardman 2 for 2 that trip. Bumps the lead out to 10. It was a 3-point game, but the Reds have pushed it to 10 once again, their largest lead of the contest. 29-19 with 5:35 to go in the half. And a timeout taken by the Vikings here. It'll be a full timeout. We'll take a break as well. 5.5 minutes to go. 29-19. Lady Reds on top of Augustana on your home for Carthage Sports, AM 1050 WLIP. 29-19, Lady Reds up by 10. One other game going on this afternoon in the CCIW. About 4 minutes left, first half. Elmhurst leading Wheaton 25-22 in women's basketball this afternoon. The rest of the games getting underway at 5 o'clock today. We'll feature Illinois Wesleyan at North Central and Milliken at North Park. The men's games slated to begin at 7 tonight. Thomas will bring it down for the Lady Reds. Gives it off to Hahn, back to Thomas. Works around the Hahn screen. Now goes hard to the basket, off the glass and in. Strong move with the left hand that time. Going up off the glass for Aaron Thomas. 5 points for Thomas today. 31-19, the lead out to 12 once again. Now they work it off to Petsapani, right of the free throw line. And Riley left her feet trying to defend Valerie Van Royen, and Riley will be called for her second foul. Went up and on top of Van Royen that time. 7th team foul, so that will put the Vikings on the line now for the bonus. Morgan Harris in for Allison Riley. So Valerie Van Royen on the line. First one up and in. Second leading scorer on the team, has started all 12 games now, 11.2 points per game. 73% from the stripe this year. Came up short on the first one, but we got a violation. Lane violation on Boardman. Got another lane early. So one extra toss here for Van Rooyen. That one up and in. 31-21, Reds by 10, 4:40 to go here in our first half, as Morgan Harris will play point now for the Lady Reds. Swings it off to Thomas on the right wing, on the drive through the paint, kicks it out to Kleiner. Kleiner back off to Thomas, looks for Boardman inside, back out to Hahn, 3 ball on the way, that's no good. Boardman able to get the rebound. Resets here for the Lady Reds. Then over the top, down low to Boardman. Boardman going strong to the basket, missed the layup. Rolled right over the heel of the rim, from right to left that time, Boardman. Unable to get that one to fall. Back the other way are the Vikings. So they set it up here. Mayer with it. Between the circles, works it off to Van Rooyen. Now in the hands of Petsapani. Petsapani jump shot right to the free throw line. That's no good. Rebound Aaron Thomas for the Lady Reds. Harris now across midcourt for Carthage. 3:45 to play, a 10-point Lady Red lead. Tried to work it into Hahn. It was tipped off of Hahn. Actually hit Petsapani. Hahn tried to grab it and it went out of bounds. Allen, Rice, in now. Allen and Rice both in now for the Vikings. The Vikings throw it away. Looking for Jen Van Watermeulen that time. Went right in front of her and right off her right arm. So Harris across midcourt. Gets it off to Kleiner. Works it to Hahn, driving hard to the basket right side. Didn't get the foul call. She was working on Petsapani. Muscled up on her. Forced her to miss the shot. Now Kleiner fell down in front of Van Watermeulen. They kick it back up top for the 3. That rattles out, no good. Rebound, Petsapani puts it up and in. Just happened to be at the right spot that time. Boardman mistimed her leap that time going for the rebound. And as she was coming down, the ball went right through her fingertips, right to Petsapani, who was able to put it home. Now to Boardman, count it, and 1 for Taylor Boardman. So, and 1 upcoming here. Boardman with a nice move down low on the post. Able to draw the foul. Mayer commits the foul down low on the mismatch. Ashley Cunningham replacing Aaron Thomas with Boardman to complete the 3-point play. It's up and in. 11 points on the afternoon for Taylor Boardman. 34-23, the lead to 11 for Carthage. 2:40 to go. 3 ball on the way. That skips off the rim, no good. Hahn with the rebound. Clears it out to Morgan Harris. Harris across midcourt. Works it on the right wing to Hahn, middle of the floor. Left side, Boardman. Boardman off the left wing to Kleiner. Now Harris, inside it goes to Hahn. Turn around from the right block, off the glass, and down. Alexis Hahn with 12. Lead out to 13, 36-23. Another long-range jumper by Petsapani goes down just inside the arc, top of the circle. Petsapani, fine range for a 6-footer. Not afraid to put that one up from the outside. 9 points on the afternoon for Petsapani to lead her team in that category. 36-25, minute 48 to go. Hahn, free throw line jumper. That hits the heel of the rim. Rebound caroms out to the left side, picked up by Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen works it back up top. Now into the corner it goes for 3 by Van Watermeulen. That's no good. Ashley Cunningham there to pick up the loose ball. 90 seconds to go, 36-25 here in the first half. Lady Reds in front. Cunningham to Boardman. She stumbled as she tried to make her break, and then Kleiner going for the loose ball was bumped off and fouled. Looks like Cassidy Rice. That was the 9th team foul on the Vikings. It looked like Boardman stumbled trying to come up top for the high post cut. The pass was a little bit behind her, and it was Kleiner who flagged it down and got bumped off by Rice. Makes the first free throw. First of the 1-and-1. Second one up and in. First 2 points of the afternoon for Casey Kleiner. She had a rough go of it against St. Thomas, 5 for 7. Or I should say she was 0 for 5 at one point in that contest. Struggled against St. Thomas. Three-pointer out of the corner is an air ball miss. Cunningham picks it up for the Lady Reds. Under a minute to go now in the half. Morgan Harris up top to Boardman. Around the left side it goes to Cunningham. Driving, lays it up with the right hand short. Battle for the loose ball. Picked up by the Vikings. Victoria Allen with it across midcourt. Looks inside to Petsapani, knocked away by Boardman. (38-25), 13-point Reds lead, their largest of the game. Vikings will inbound here near side. Get it up top into the hands of Cassidy Rice. She'll hand it back off to Allen. Now Hartsfield working around. So get it away inside to Petsapani. Petsapani shot no good, got her own rebound, but lost it as she was stripped by Taylor Boardman. Carthage will bring it down. Shot clock dark. Cunningham traveled with it. Lost track of time there. You could hear Tim Bernero screaming that they were yelling for just one shot on the drive by Kleiner, and then Kleiner fed Cunningham. I think she was surprised she got the ball and shuffled her feet and turned it over. So Adams with it now into the corner. Back out to Adams. Adams top of the circle with 2 seconds. Three ball on the way. That one's no good. Shot taken that time by Van Watermeulen. And our first half comes to an end. Lady Reds have opened up a 13-point advantage. It's Carthage 38, Augustana 25. We'll pause and take a 2-minute break. Back to talk about our first half. Run you the numbers right after this on AM 1050 WLIP. John Weiser back with you at the Tarble Arena. Carthage able to take a close game here through the first 10 minutes or so. Reds led by 3 points as late as 11-10 on a 17-14 lead after a Victoria Allen layup cut the deficit to 3, but then Carthage went on a 10-0 run and jumped that lead out. Opened up a double-digit advantage. Carthage by 10 at 29-19 on a pair of free throws by Taylor Boardman. Increased that lead out to 12 on an Aaron Thomas layup after a missed three-pointer by Valerie Van Royen. Carthage kept it in the double digits here throughout the remaining part of the ball game here in the first half and reached its largest lead at 2:16.5 on a layup by Alexis Hahn. That put them up 13, 36-23. That's where it remains here at the end of one half, 38-25 in favor of the Lady Reds. Take a look at some of the numbers here in this first half. Carthage shot 48%, 13 for 27. Augustana 35% shooting, 10 for 28. Reds 42% three-point shooting on 3 of 7. Augustana just 2 for 12. And Augie 3 of 4 at the line compared to the Lady Reds 9 for 11. Carthage was out-rebounded, I should say, by Augustana 17-15, just 2 offensive boards for the Lady Reds. Individual scoring in that first half. For Carthage, they were led by Alexis Hahn with 12, 5 of 10 from the floor, a pair of free throws, 12 points in 17 minutes for Alexis Hahn. Taylor Boardman added 11 points. Boardman 3 of 8 from the floor, but she is getting to the free throw line. She was 5 of 7 from the line. 5 points for Aaron Thomas, 5 for Allison Riley, 3 points for Morgan Harris, and 2 points for Casey Kleiner. Ashley Cunningham and Morgan Vukovic played but did not score for the Lady Reds, who shot 48% in that first half, 13 of 27. For the Augustana Vikings, they were led by Marissa Petsapani. Petsapani, 4 of 10 from the floor, including a three-pointer. She finished the half with 9 points. She also has 7 rebounds in the contest thus far. Leading scorer and leading rebounder is Petsapani, 9 points, 7 boards. Valerie Van Royen with 6 on 2 for 3 shooting, including a pair of free throws in that. Cassidy Rice with 3, Carly Adams with 2, Victoria Allen with 2, Jen Van Watermeulen with 2, and Olivia Mayer with 1 point thus far. Vikings go 10 of 28, 35% shooting, 2 for 12 from behind the arc, and 3 of 4 from the free throw line. As we mentioned, the Lady Reds got out-rebounded in that first half, 17-15. Leading rebounder was Pesapani with 7. Leading rebounder for the Lady Reds, Taylor Boardman, with 3. The Vikings commit 10 turnovers. Carthage committing just 6. Lady Reds with 8 assists, and Augustana with 5. 1 block and 1 steal for the Lady Reds. 3 blocks committed by Augustana, 1 each by Petsapani, McNally, and Van Royen. So your score here at the half, Carthage 38, Augustana 25. We'll pause, we'll take a 60 break, we'll come back with more right after this on AM 1050 WLIP. One other game going on in the CCIW this afternoon in women's basketball. It is Wheaton at Elmhurst, and Wheaton has taken a 26-24 lead at the half in that ball game. Actually 26-25 your score in the first half of that contest. Heather Considine with 10 points to lead the way for the Wheaton Thunder, and it was Fiona McMahon with 6 and Kate Summerlin with 6 to lead the way for Elmhurst. So again, 26-25, Wheaton on top of Elmhurst as that game now at the half. Other games this afternoon in women's basketball, 5 o'clock tips going on today. Tipping off at 5, North Central hosting Illinois Wesleyan. Also at 5 o'clock on women's basketball, it'll be North Park taking on Milliken. Again, we've got Redmond basketball for you immediately following this contest here. Doubleheader this afternoon. It'll be the Redmond taking on Augustana. Second-ranked Vikings coming in with a record of 10-1 on the season, and coming off a somewhat, I don't know if you want to call it a poor outing, but you know, it was a win, but not a blowout by any stretch. They won by 5, 71-66 over Coe on Tuesday up at the Wisconsin Dells. The tournament up there. So see what they have. They've got all 5 starters back from a year ago, and they've got that outstanding point guard in Hunter Hill have to contend with. We'll talk about that as we get into our game here today. Hunter Hill had that spectacular ball game earlier this season against UW Whitewater, in which he scored 41 points in a triple overtime victory over defending national champion UW Whitewater. 96-94, the final in that one back in early December. That was one for the ages. Hill hit 3 different shots to tie the game and send it into overtime and double overtime. He's averaging 16 points, has 34 assists and 19 steals to his credit thus far. He is the one player to keep an eye on for the Redmen today. But again, Augustana, your typical Augustana team. Only one player under 6 foot, and that is Hunter Hill. Everybody else at 6'4", 6'5", all the way up to 6'8". You look at that lineup, just nothing but tall trees in there. Ben Ryan, Nick Hopner, Motzel, Johnston, Hoekstra, all big, 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". So be a big underneath. See if the Redmen can out-battle them here today in the conference opener, the 69th season of CCIW basketball opening up today. Bosko Jurkovic taking part in 30-some seasons of basketball as a coach and player. I got to say, it's close to 35 years of following this league, from his playing days to his coaching days to... So he has seen it all, and very chipper, very excited about the start of the conference season. He has certainly not lost his enthusiasm for the game. Here the Lady Reds lead 38-25 over Augustana. Getting set for the start of the second half. And the Reds are playing without Erin Quinn today. Quinn re-injured her right shoulder diving after a loose ball on Tuesday against St. Thomas. She's been battling a little inflammation and some joint sprain in that right shoulder and re-aggravated that injury, so she's on a day-to-day basis, not even dressed for the Lady Red game here today. So trying to rehab that arm before we get too far in. Lady Reds in a stretch where they're going to play 4 of their first 5 games here at home. So want to get off to a good start before that schedule flips the other way. So we get Erin Quinn healthy, try and keep everyone else healthy as we go here. That will be the battle cry here for the Lady Reds. They'll be back in action on Wednesday back here at home as they will host North Park here at the Tarble Arena. We'll have that broadcast for you Wednesday night starting at 6:45, a 7 o'clock tip. We'll see what the Lady Reds can do here in the second half. They shot 48% in that first half, 13 of 27. Had some success early getting inside with Boardman and Hahn, but credit Augustana, they made some adjustments there. They've started to take that away, and then they've moved Pezzapani out a little bit on offense. She's taken a couple of jump shots, including a made three-pointer so far today with 9 points. So, see how the Reds react to that. See how the Lady Reds can get going here offensively. Hahn with 12 points, Boardman with 11. Pezzapani with 9, and Van Rooyen with 6 to lead the way for the Vikings. So we're just about set for the start of our second half. Go with their starting 5 for both teams here to begin this second half. Be Mayer, Valerie Van Rooyen, Andrea McNally, Jen Van Watermeulen, and Marissa Pezzapani. Alexis Hahn, Taylor Boardman, Erin Thomas, Casey Kleiner, and Allison Riley on the floor for the Lady Reds. It'll be Augustana ball to start this second half. And they will get to inbound at midcourt. McNally will trigger the inbound. And we are underway here in our second half. Lady Reds basketball on 1050 WLIP. Reds lead it 38-25. Looking here on the near side is Van Watermeulen. Back to the far side it goes. McNally On the dribble in front of Hahn, into the corner. Petsapani traveled. Tried to hop around, a little bunny hop that time, moving the ball with the head and shoulder fake, and her feet left the ground, forcing the travel. So Carthage will get it off the turnover. The 11th turnover committed by Augustana today. Now Thomas will bring it across. Works it off to Allison Riley. Back to Hahn. Inside once again to Boardman. Going glass, banks it in. Boardman able to split the defender that time as she was able to get between McNally and Prezapani for that bucket. 13 on the day for Boardman. Boardman gets the rebound off the missed shot taken from the outside that time by Van Royen. Thomas again will take it across. 15-point Lady Red lead. Again inside to Boardman. Boardman going strong low left, lays it up and in. Running their offense now as they're able to get the ball inside. 15 for Taylor Boardman. They try and lob it into Petsapani. It's broken up by Boardman out of bounds. Nice job there. She forced McNally into trying to get it over the top of Boardman, and she was able to swat it out of bounds. Vikings inbound left of the basket. They get it into Van Royen. Works it up top. McNally around the far side it goes. Mayer tried to work it in, and Mayer had it taken away by Hahn. Another turnover committed by Augustana. Now Thomas works it off to Hahn, top of the circle, hands it back to Thomas. Thomas driving, going to the basket, drew the foul. Got a step on McNally. McNally picking up her fourth foul. So McNally starting the half on the floor with 3 fouls, quickly picks up foul number 4. And Aaron Thomas will go to the free throw line for Carthage. Able to connect on the front end. Victoria Allen. And the Vikings take a timeout. It'll be a full timeout. We will keep it here. So a couple of turnovers early, then the player that they cannot afford to have off the floor, Andrea McNally, with some height at 5'10", she picks up her 4th foul. So they have to work some things out. So Augustana electing to take a timeout here and talk things over. They're down to 3 timeouts remaining. Carthage has all 6 of their timeouts remaining thus far. Again, stay tuned. We've got Redmond basketball for you this afternoon. The Carthage Redmond getting set to take on the second-ranked Augustana Vikings. That will be approximately 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game. The Redmond on the road Wednesday at the North Park. Again, we'll have the women's game on Wednesday, the home game here at Tarble Arena Wednesday night. So Thomas back out to attempt her final free throw, along with Kleiner, Riley, Hahn, and Boardman. Van Watermeulen and Victoria Allen out there now, along with Meyer, Van Royen, and Petsapani. And Thomas makes both free throws. 7 points today for Aaron Thomas, 44-25. Largest lead of the game now for the Lady Reds. On the drive, going to the basket, throwing it off the rim and in, Olivia Mayer. Mayer with 3 points today. Cuts it to 44-27. Thomas, near side it goes to Riley. Back out to Kleiner for 3. That one spins off the rim, no good. Hahn with the rebound. In traffic, got bumped, able to clear it out to Boardman, to Thomas. Now to Riley, back inside to Hahn, back out to Kleiner. Kleiner on the drive, through the paint. Back to Riley, forces it back into Hahn. Hahn, cross-court feed back to Kleiner. Eyes the three, that one's no good. Rebound pulled in by Augustana. Boy, Kleiner has suddenly lost her touch as Thomas sneaking in front of Van Watermeulen, got a piece of her on the way by and commits the foul.
Number 11, Aaron Thomas, her second personal foul. First,
Kleiner's had some difficulty here last couple ball games. As the free throw on the way by Van Watermeulen. No good. Second one up and in. 44-28. Kleiner cross court feed to Riley. Riley's pass broken up, taken away. Intercepting that pass, Valerie Van Rooyen. Now come the Vikings. They'll attempt a three. That one is short, and we got a foul as Kleiner had the inside position. Petsapani tried to get that rebound over her back. Second foul on Petsapani, second on the Vikings here in the half. 16:48 to play, 44-28. Lady Reds lead. Riley to Thomas, middle of the floor, back to Riley. To Thomas again, between the circles, swings it off right side to Kleiner, now to Hahn. 15-foot jump shot off the right baseline, no good. Riley tried to tap it, couldn't gather it in, and it goes out of bounds. She was battling Van Watermeulen that time for that loose ball, and it went off of Hahn, out of bounds. So Victoria Allen with the ball here on the near wing. Now drives, penetrates, kick out, back to Van Watermeulen. Back up top to Olivia Mayer. Mayer to Petsapani. Now reversing into the right corner. It's Van Watermeulen, and she was fouled on the way to the basket. Casey Kleiner committing the foul. That's her first. Each team now with 2 team fouls here in the second half. Vikings will inbound up top. Victoria Allen handling it here. Goes through the paint. Now gets it off to Petsapani, back up top. Goes around to Mayer. Reversing around to the right corner now. Back to Mayer. A little shoulder fake, able to clear some space. And Van Rooyen able to hit the jump shot. Valerie Van Rooyen from 18 feet. Able to knock that down. She has 8. 44-30. Reds lead down to 14. Kleiner with it here on the near wing. Clear cross court, right side, Riley for 3, and it goes down. Allison Riley for the 3 in front of her own bench. 8 points for Riley in a starting role today, replacing the injured Erin Quinn. 47-30. That pass deflected out of bounds by Hahn.
Returning to the Vikings, number 10, Kayla Freeman.
Kayla Freeman will check in now. 5'6" sophomore guard for the Vikings. 47-30, Lady Reds in front. Allison Cunningham will come in for Alexis Hahn. Hahn leaves with 12 points. Now we get everybody set. Vikings will inbound. Spinning with it, and we got a whistle and a hand check foul on Cunningham. Got the hand on the back of Van Rooyen, Valerie Van Rooyen. As she dribbled, she turned her back, and somehow Cunningham got 2 hands on her back, and it's a foul that'll get called. Backing it out is Mayer. Top of the circle, Mayer with it. Up below the three-point arc. Now just it off right side to Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen cut off nicely by Cunningham at the baseline. Finds Petsapani, though. Cuts in behind Cunningham and lays it up and in. Good job by Cunningham to cut off the initial drive, but she didn't get any help out as Marissa Pezzapani snuck through for the easy layup. Pezzapani with 11. 47-32. Cunningham now driving out of the right corner and was fouled. Put up a little head and shoulder fake as she drove out of the right corner. Freeman picking up the foul. That is her first. Third team foul on the Vikings. Thomas will inbound right of the basket. Quickly to Boardman, and she was fouled immediately on the play. Pezzapani with the foul. That's 3 now on Pezzapani. You have Andrea McNally on the bench with 4 already for Augustana. And now Taylor Boardman back at the line. She is now 6 out of 8 from the stripe. Second one up and in. 2 for 2 that trip. 17 points for Taylor Boardman today. Pezzapani driving from the top of the circle, going glass right side, lays it in. Strong move from the high post to the low post that time for Pezzapani as she takes it down the right baseline for the layup. 49-34. Riley, she tried to get that, traveled with it. Took an extra step before she dished the ball off. Turns it over for the Lady Reds. 7th turnover committed by Carthage. Their first one here of the second half. 13:50 to play, 49-34, Reds in front. Now driving off the right wing is Van Royen. Kicks it back out to Pezzapani. She'll fire up the 3. That's well off. And the rebound pulled in by Riley. It's not her forte. She's only attempted 24, 25 three-point attempts. Made 5 of them coming in. Not comfortable that far out. Kleiner for 3. Right side. That one settles in. Now you get Casey Kleiner going. She's on an 0 for 3 kick till that one went in. Kleiner with her first triple of the day. She has 5. Made a couple of free throws in that first half. 52-34. The ball loose, goes off of Cunningham out of bounds. Hahn and Morgan Harris will check in, replacing Thomas and Taylor Boardman. Working the dribble is Victoria Allen. Allen got past Morgan Harris, and we got a foul on Harris with a reach. That's her second. Each team now with 4 team fouls. Just a little head and shoulder fake on the dribble, and that got Harris off balance, and she was forced to grab at the jersey. With it now is Mayer. Mayer walked with the basketball, tried to do a jump stop, but kind of a slide stop that time. McNally checks back in, along with Carly Adams and Van Watermeulen. It's like a 2-3 zone now for the Vikings. Awfully high zone. Almost a 2-1-2 look with Pezzapani patrolling the paint here. Carthage having to figure it out. Morgan Harris around to Kleiner. She'll shoot over the zone. That one's short. Riley able to save it. Gets it right back in the hands of Hahn. Hahn trying to go right back down to Riley, and it was deflected out of bounds. Going off of Victoria Allen. Carthage will retain possession. 4 seconds to shoot. Harris gets it into Kleiner. She'll fire up the 3. That's no good. Rebound Hahn. Gets it back to Harris. Harris bounce feed to Hahn. Low right. Lays it up and in. Good possession there. Kept alive by the offensive board by Hahn, who got the return pass from Harris for the layup. 3 ball on the way. That one's no good. Taken by Van Royen. And Lady Reds clear the rebound. 20-point lead for Carthage, 54-34, 11:50 to play. Now 3 by Riley, that one falls short. Rebound pulled in by Petsapani. She'll get it down to McNally. Top of the circle to Petsapani again. Now working into the corner. With it there is Van Royen. We got a whistle away from the play in the paint. Cunningham picking up the foul. That is her second. The 5th team foul on the Lady Reds as Erin Thomas will check back in for the Lady Reds, replacing Allison Riley. Get it into Van Royen. Valerie Van Royen, top of the circle, works it off left wing. With it there is McNally. McNally back out there with 4 fouls. Try and work it inside, and it's taken away by Morgan Harris. Nice job by Harris to get in front of Van Watermeulen for that steal. Well, the Reds will work the offense here. Kleiner on the left wing, back around to Harris. To the right side, Thomas for 3. That rattles off, no good. Rebound, poked free, and last to touch it was Casey Kleiner. Ooh, it looked like last to grab it was McNally. I thought that went off of McNally. As it is, it goes off of Kleiner. It'll be Augustana basketball. With it is McNally, back up top. Pezapani, free throw line jumper, no good. Battle for the loose ball, and a whistle and a foul on the Lady Reds. I believe it's on Cunningham, her 3rd. Kind of bowled her way through the paint looking for that loose ball and collided with a Viking player, sending her to the floor. So get it inside, and off the right block, they draw the foul once again. Van Royen. Thomas picking up her 3rd. And now in the bonus the rest of the way out here are the Augustana Vikings. 7th team foul. On the free throw line is Valerie Van Royen. Coming up empty on her first attempt.
And your Carthage lineup number 23, Morgan Vukovic.
Morgan Vukovic in now for the Lady Reds. And the second free throw up and in for Valerie Van Royen. Allen checks back in. Mayer and Rice all coming back in now for Augustana. 10.5 minutes to play, a 19-point lead, 54-35. Carthage in front here. Kleiner for 3. That's an air ball miss, and it goes out of bounds. Boy, Casey has been off her game a couple of games now. Going back to that St. Thomas game, she struggled. Didn't score a point in that contest. That ball game as 3 ball comes up, no good. Rebound loose inside. Petsapani gets the rebound, and stick back goes down. Yeah, Kleiner was 0 for 5 in that game against St. Thomas. She struggled here from the field. Just 1 for 5 from the field thus far. Kleiner works it off to Hahn. Cross-court feed to Thomas, high in the right wing. Back to left wing, it goes to Kleiner. To Vukovic, back over to Thomas. Thomas on the drive, going hard to the basket. Had stripped out of her hand by Petsapani, and back the other way come the Vikings. Bounce feed inside, layup good. And Victoria Allen with the layup. Just like that, the lead down to 15. Another 3-ball launch, another miss. And now another rebound by Olivia Mayer. Back the other way, another layup. I think Tim Bernero's going to take a timeout here. Timeout, Lady Reds. Lead down to 13. Was as many as 20, but a 7-0 run here. It was 54-34. And a full timeout taken by the Lady Reds. We'll take a break as well. 9:17 to go. 54-41. Carthage in front. Back after this on AM 1050 WLIP. (54-41), the lead down to 13. Reds with some work to do here. They led by as many as 20, only to see Augustana come back here. A little bit of a zone defense has thrown a wrinkle into what the Reds want to do as Hahn lost the ball out of bounds. So another turnover committed by the Lady Reds. Their 9th of the ball game, their 3rd of the half. Riley will check back in for Carthage, replacing Aaron Thomas. Well, big possession here for Augustana to get back into this one. Vikings had a slim lead early, 3-point lead. 2 minutes into the game, but Carthage has been in control since. They get into Petsapani, banks the shot in, and it's good. Low right, Petsapani. 17 on the night for Petsapani. 11-point game now, 54-43. 8.5 minutes to go. Hahn inside to Boardman, back out to Riley. Now to Harris. Harris now to Kleiner. Back over to Riley. To Hahn, top of the circle, left side Morgan Harris. Feeds Boardman on the right block. Bounce feed, stolen away. Tried to get it back out to Kleiner. It was taken away by Victoria Allen. She'll lay it up and in. They're back to within single digits. 9-point ball game, 11-point run here. Carthage turns it over, or nearly turns it over, as ball deflected off of Morgan Harris, but the last to touch it was Olivia Meyer. Well, we got ourselves a ball game now. 54-45, the Vikings to within 9. Riley works it around to Hahn. We got a whistle and a timeout taken by the Lady Reds. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Tim Bernero did not like the way that offensive set was going.
It's a 30-second timeout.
The Lady Reds just simply got confused. I'll give Mike Benborn credit. He went to a zone defense to start this run, and that really got things going. It forced the Lady Reds to try and shoot from the outside, which they have not hit. Lady Reds now just 5 of 17 from 3-point range. They're only 2 for 10 here in the second half. So that's gotten them back in the ball game. Boardman, Hahn, Kleiner, Harris, and Riley out there for the Lady Reds. Harris handles the inbound pass, works it off to Riley on the right wing. Back around to Harris, gets a screen from Hahn. Hahn works it inside to Boardman. Temporarily broken up, and then it is taken away. Petsapani got the steal that time, deflected it off to Allen, and on the drive to the basket, got a whistle and a foul on the drive. Give this Augustana team credit. They've gutted themselves back in here. Gotten aggressive on defense. They've taken away the inside game. You recall, start of the second half, Reds had 2 or 3 easy layups on the over-the-top feed to either Hahn or Boardman. They've taken that away, and the Reds have gone cold from the outside. Victoria Allen at the free throw line for the bonus. Missing the front end. The rebound picked up in the right corner by Allison Riley. 54-45. Reds by 9. 7:23 to play. Boardman top of the circle. Works it off right wing to Riley. Down low it goes to Hahn. Missed the shot. Tried to keep it alive. Deflected through Petsapani and picked up by Mayer. Mayer outlets to Allen. Back to Mayer. Now the Reds in a bit of a zone defense here. Reds going zone 2-3. They get it to Petsapani. Turnaround jump shot at the free throw line. No good. Rebound and the stick back goes down. Cassidy Rice battling Riley that time on the low left block. Got that rebound and the stick back to go down. 7-point ball game, 54-47. Boardman works it off to Riley. Back up top, Kleiner for three. Badly needed and gotten. Casey Kleiner for the three, top of the circle. Boy, they needed that one. Builds the lead back out to 10. 57-47. Whew. 20-point lead down to 7, but now it's back to 10 as the Reds break up the inside pass for Pezzapani as Boardman knocked it away for the Lady Reds. Carthage will come up with it here. 6 minutes to go, leading by 10. Well, they switch back, going man-to-man here. Thomas inside to Boardman, back out to Hahn. Hahn wants to launch the three. That one off the rim, no good. Battle for the loose ball. Boardman called for the over the back. Good positioning inside by Pezzapani. Keep Boardman off the glass that time. And Boardman picks off her second personal foul. We'll walk it back down to my far right. At the free throw line will be Marissa Pezzapani. Pezzapani, team's leading scorer at 14 per game. She has 17 tonight. 73% from the line. That one goes in. 18 tonight for Pezzapani. She had a 29-point performance earlier this year. Makes them both 57-49. 8-point Lady Red advantage. 5.5 minutes to go. And this lead was as many as 20 here in the second half. Kleiner, nice feed to Hahn, going strong to the basket. Count it, and the foul. Blocking foul on Mayer. Did not get the feet set in time to cut off Hahn on her trip to the basket. And so Hahn with a chance to complete the three-point play. And she does, hits the free throw. Lead back out to 12 here. Make that 11, 60-49. 17 points for Hahn, tied with Boardman for team high honors so far. Now on the drive from the right side, Victoria Allen, and a reach foul by the Lady Reds. That's 3 on Boardman. 10th team foul, so now double bonus, 2 free throws for every foul here the rest of the way out for Augustana. Reds yet to get into the bonus themselves. Victoria Allen at the line, missing on the front end. Allen with 6 points, 0 for 2 from the line today. Makes the second. 1 for 2 that trip. 60-50, Lady Reds lead. 5:05 to go in the game. Thomas across midcourt. Aaron Thomas feeds Boardman. Double team by Pezzapani and by Allen. Gets it back to Hahn, driving the basket, lays it up with the left hand. Overlaid. Ball loose as they go for the loose ball. Boardman fouled on the play. Pezzapani with the foul on the reach, her 4th. So she joins McNally with the 4th personal foul. Carthage will inbound. Kleiner quickly for 3. Got it down. Another clutch 3 by Casey Kleiner. Able to knock that one in. The Carthage to extend their lead now to 13. 63-50. 4.5 minutes to go. Pezzapani double dribbled with the basketball. Put the ball on the floor, then picked it up, then turned and tried to dribble to the basket. Naismith says you can't do that. 63-50. Carthage with the ball and the lead, 4:15 to play. Thomas now driving left side, going glass, makes it in. Aaron Thomas around Olivia Mayer for the layup with the left hand. She has 9. Timeout taken by the Vikings. 4:07 to go. 65-50. Lady Reds with the lead. A full timeout. We'll take one more break. Be back after this on AM 1050 WLIP. Well, Lady Reds let a 20-point lead evaporate down to 7 at one point, 54-47. But the Reds now on an 11-3 run to reclaim a 15-point advantage here with 4:07 to go. Vikings with the basketball following their timeout. They have 2 remaining. Carthage with 4 timeouts. On the drive through the paint, shot partially blocked on the drive by Cassidy Rice. Didn't touch the rim, so no reset on the shot clock. Deep 3 taken on that far side by Petsapani, and the rebound pulled in by Kleiner. Again, that shot clock going down. Petsapani forced that one up. 3.5 to go. Riley knocked to the floor and whistling a foul. On her drive to the basket from the left side, Riley was fouled. Petsapani picks up the foul. That is her 5th. So Petsapani fouling out here with 3:29 to play. She's the team's leading scorer at 19 points tonight. 19 points, 10 rebounds. And fouls out here with 3:29 remaining. McNally back in there now, along with Van Watermeulen. So Petsapani, 19 points, 10 rebounds. A solid effort today for Marissa Petsapani, but she's not going to be able to play the final 3.5 here. Riley makes the second of 2. 66-50. Reds up by 16. And the Redmen and Vikings set to come your way about a half hour after this one concludes. We'll have our post game with head coach Tim Bernero, and then we'll get you into Redmen basketball against the second-ranked Augustana Vikings. Deep 3 from the left wing. Rebound batted around like a volleyball match down there on that left block. Jen Van Watermeulen fouling. It was Riley, so that'll put Riley back at the free throw line here for the Lady Reds. Allison Riley nails the first. 10 points for Riley today. And hits the second. 11 points for Allison Riley. 68-50 as the three-point shot taken by Victoria Allen. That one is no good. Rebound pulled in by Alexis Hahn. Now Thomas with it up top. Goes to Riley. Riley driving the basket, and we got an offensive foul. Taking the charge in there was Van Rooyen. Carthage getting bogged down in that offensive set that time. 68-50. Lady Reds up by 18. 2:37 to play. Got a little bit of a scare out of Augustana today. Nailed it down to 7. Another three-point attempt. That one's no good by McNally. Riley able to clear the boards for Carthage. Lady Reds bouncing back here to that loss on Tuesday to St. Thomas. Riley for 3 off the right wing. That one goes down. That should put a lid on this one now as the lead out to 21. 71-50 with 2:05 to play. Again, a deep three. That one's no good. Taken by Van Royen. Rebound pulled in by Casey Kleiner. Under 2 minutes to play. Lady Red's going to get to 8-4 on the season and open up with a conference win. Conference opener. Again, trying to take advantage of the home cooking here. 4 of their first 5 played right here at the Tarble Arena. They'll be back here on Wednesday night. Take on North Park. 7 o'clock tip here at the Tarble Arena. As Thomas on the drive to the basket from the right side, fouled by Olivia Mayer. That's 4 on Mayer. Pezzapani has fouled out. McNally also with 4 as Thomas toes the line here. Able to knock down the free throw. Thomas into double figures now with 10. Genge, Hosian, and Benhouse and Vukovic in now for the Lady Reds. And also checking in. Yep, Lexi Miranda will check in now, replacing Aaron Thomas. So Carthage going with their bench here. Lead out to 23. It was a 7-point game with 7 minutes left. Carthage found a way to get back on track as Genge picks up the loose ball in the paint. Lexi Miranda gets it across now to Hosian. Andy Hosian works it around now to Genge. Back up top to Vukovic. Gets it to Hosian on the right wing. Up top to Miranda. And Miranda fouled. Going for that three-point shot. She'll go to the line to shoot 3.
Number 20, Victoria Allen, her first personal foul.
Allen charged with the foul, got her across the arm. So that will put Mandy Hosian on the free throw line for 3 free throws. The sophomore out of New Lenox, Illinois. Missed the front end. And missed the second. And she missed all 3, but Vukovic got the rebound and was fouled on the way up. Good job by Morgan Vukovic, the freshman out of McWanago, able to get the miss by Hosian and draw the foul. That's foul on McNally. So she fouls out here, joining Pezzapani. And now Vukovic will attempt double bonus here, and she nails the front end. Five different players in double figures for the Lady Reds here today as Vukovic misses the second. Augie with the rebound, 45 seconds to go here in the ball game. A whistle and a foul on the Lady Reds.
Carthage foul, number 32, Taylor Benninghouse, her first.
Benninghouse picking up the foul, her first. Coming across the arm, trying to defend that time on Carly Adams. Adams able to hit the free throw. One more for Carly Adams. That one rolls off no good. Vukovic clears the rebound. Lexi Miranda with it. But a 12-second differential, shot clock to game clock. Game clock at 31. They feed Benninghouse low left, couldn't hit. Battle for the loose ball, and Benninghouse commits the foul. Missed her shot and then tried to go after the loose ball.
Carthage foul, number 32, Taylor Benninghouse, her second personal foul.
So once again, Carly Adams back to the free throw line, the sophomore out of Viola, Illinois. Free throw comes up short. That one rattles out on the second attempt. Ball loose inside, picked up by Devin Abshner. She missed the shot, kicked back out. Jump shot taken by Carly Adams, and that one rolls off no good. The rebound cleared out by the Lady Reds. Final 10 seconds here. Lexi Miranda just going to dribble it out. The Lady Reds are going to get to 8-4, opening up their conference season with a victory here at home against the Augustana Vikings. 74-51 your final here today. And we'll take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll run down the final numbers and visit with head coach Tim Bernero in our postgame right after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to Lady Reds basketball on AM 1050 WLIP. The Lady Reds pick up the win here today as they knock off Augustana by a final score of 74-51. Lady Reds were cruising along here throughout the second half. They had a 20-point lead at one point early in this second half, 54-34. But a 13-0 run by Augustana, spanning about 6 minutes, took them from a 54-34 lead to 54-47 after Cassidy Rice layup off of that put the Reds lead down to 7, but then Casey Kleiner to the rescue. Hadn't been hitting much, but she hit a three-pointer at that point, put the lead back out to 10. A couple of free throws by Marissa Pezzapani got the lead back down to 8, 57-49, but that's as close as Augie would get with 5:46 to play. Carthage then opened up the lead, I should say, out to as many as 15, 65-50 on an Aaron Thomas layup, and built that lead back out to 21 on a three-pointer by Allison Riley with 2:08 left. The Lady Reds win this one here today by a score of 74-51. The final numbers here on the Lady Reds shooting the basketball today. Carthage 23 of 51, 45%. Reds were 38% from three-point range, 8 for 21, but a little misleading as the Lady Reds were just 5 for 14 shooting the three ball in the second half, and 20 of 27 from the line. We have 5 different players in double figures. All 5 starters hit double figures today for the Lady Reds. Alexis Hahn and Taylor Boardman each with 17 today. Hahn 7 of 16 from the floor, 6 rebounds, 17 points. Boardman 5 for 10 from the floor, 7 of 9 from the free throw line for her 17 points. She also had 6 rebounds in the contest. Aaron Thomas finished with 11 points, 3 of 6, including a perfect 4 of 4 from the line. Casey Kleiner, 11 points today, 3 of 11 shooting. She has struggled last couple of ball games with her shot. She did hit the clutch 3 that put the lead back up to 10, and the Lady Reds went on from there. Allison Riley, a strong ball game, 14 points for Riley in a starting role in place of Aaron Quinn, who is out with that shoulder injury. So Reds getting a balanced scorebook here today. Not much off the bench, however. Morgan Harris for 3, Morgan Vukovic for 1. That's the only bench scoring provided by the Lady Reds here tonight. Marissa Pezzapani with 19 points led the way for Augustana here today. 8 for 18 was Pezzapani, including a three-pointer. She was 2 for 2 from the line. Finished with a double-double tonight with 10 rebounds. So 19 points, 10 rebounds before fouling out with just under 4 minutes to play. Marissa Pezzapani. She's the only player in double figures for the Vikings. Valerie Van Royen with 9. 7 points each for Victoria Allen and Cassidy Rice. And 3 points each for Olivia Meyer, Jen Van Watermeulen, and Carly Adams. And Jamie Van Watermeulen played but did not score for Augustana. Rebounding, Augustana with a one-board advantage for the game. They had a one-board advantage at halftime. They finished with a one-board advantage here for the game. 34-33, your final totals on the glass, including 11 offensive boards for Augustana today. Lady Reds with 7 offensive rebounds. League rebounder for the Redmen was Allison Riley. Another strong game. As I said, stepping in for Erin Quinn out with that shoulder injury. Riley did not let her team down. 4 for 5 from the floor, 3 of 4 3-point shooting, 3 for 4 at the line, 7 rebounds, and had 5 assists today in 29 minutes of play. Allison Riley, outstanding job today for the Lady Reds. Finished as the leading rebounder for Carthage. Petzapani, leading rebounder for the Augustana Vikings. She had 10. Carthage took better care of the basketball. 6 turns in each half for a total of 12. Lady Reds had 17 assists on their 23 made baskets, and just 8 assists and 16 turns by Augustana in the ball game. So Carthage now 8-4, 1-0 in the CCIW. Augustana falls back even at the 500 mark, 6-6, 0-1 in CCIW play. Lady Reds back in action Wednesday here at the Tarble Arena as they host North Park. 7 o'clock is our tip. 6:45 our live broadcast here on 1050 WLIP. Waiting for head coach Tim Bernero to make his way up. Promised me he wasn't going to blow me off today, so but wasn't a brush off last week at all last time out. Just got a little extra messaging going on in the locker room after the game, so hang on here, wait for Bernero to make his appearance here in our post game. Want to let you know, Redmond basketball coming up next in about 20 minutes or so. We're going to have Redmond basketball for you as Carthage getting set to take on Augustana. If you're out and about this afternoon, looking for something to do or just want to get out of the house after all the holidays, looking for some family fun, come on down to the Tarble Arena. So there's plenty of room for you, all general admission seating, and you can get right down close to the action here today, watching the second-ranked Augustana Vikings take on your Carthage College Redmond. One other final today in the CCIW in women's play. Wheaton knocked off Elmhurst today, 67-56, the final in that one. For the Thunder, they got 20 points out of McDaniels, 18 for Heather Considine. The only players in double figures for the Thunder in that contest. Meanwhile, Elmhurst getting 16 points from Eppert and 12 from McMahon, 11 from Lippman. But they fall short as the Blue Jays lose at home to the Wheaton Thunder by a score of 67-56. So Lady Reds, after having their 14-game home winning streak snapped against St. Thomas and a 3-game win streak overall ended by that loss to St. Thomas, have started a new streak here, winning 14 of their last 15 now here at the Tarble Arena. With the win here today, 74-51, your final. Again, waiting for Coach Bernero to come on up. Still scanning here, waiting for him to make his appearance. So as I said, the Lady Reds starting out with some home cooking here. 4 of their first 5 here at home. They get that off to a good start. Coach Bernero did not, in his pregame, mention the fact that he did not want to squander that and waste that as far as a opportunity here before that schedule flips the other way. We play 3 straight on the road later on this year, so we're going to have to tough some out and win some tough ones here at home, and they found a way here. They again had a 20-point lead, dropped down to 7 at one point. At only to come back and reclaim the lead, or I should say extend the lead out to 15 on an 8-0 run, and never look back from that point. So good job by the Lady Reds here today in that one. 74-51 your final. Tell you what, Scott, let's take one more 60 break. We'll come back. We'll get Coach Bernero set up. We'll have our post game with Coach Bernero right after this on AM 1050 WLIP. John Weiser back at the Tarble Arena. Your final this afternoon. Lady Reds knock off Augustana by a score of 74-51. They go to 8-4 on the season, opening up the conference play with a victory here at home. So 1-0 in CCIW play. One other final, Wheaton defeated Elmhurst today, 67-56. Still waiting for Coach Bernero to make his appearance. Sure if he's still with the team downstairs or not. I did not see him leave the locker room, so I don't know if he's still there or not, but so if you were with us earlier, we had a nice interview with head coach Tim Rux, former football coach here at Carthage, now the assistant athletic director here at Carthage College, part of our Carthage Insider. That was a good little deal there. We had a chance to sit down and finally visit. So it's good to catch up with Coach Rux and get figure out where he's at right now and settling into his job as the assistant athletic director and first year advisor for freshman athletes. And well, it would appear that Coach Bernero has forgotten us once again. Maybe we'll try and catch him in the halftime of our game here between the Redmen and the Vikings. So I'll tell you what we'll do, Scott. We'll conclude this broadcast. We'll take a little bit of a break. We'll do a 3-minute break, and then we'll come right back with the Redmen pregame. That's all coming up next. Your final score, Carthage Lady Reds 74, Augustana 51. And we'll be back with our pregame right at, well, hang on. I think we finally see him. He was busy talking with a family of recruits, so Tim's making his way down. So I'll tell you what, we'll give him time to make his way across the court here. Stat sheet in hand, so that's good. He's well prepared. What beauty of live radio. It's the greatest thing. It's like walking a tightrope, folks, I'm telling you. It's the beauty of live broadcasts. Gotta have fun, right, Scott? Coach Bernero making his way here, and we'll get him set up here momentarily, and then we'll be all set. Gets a few words from the head coach. Get Tim hooked up here, and there you are, sir. All right, now we got Coach Bernero hooked up. What, are you running for office or what? Handshaking and everything here.
NCAA rules don't allow me to mention the names, but we got one of our
okay.
bigger recruits over there, so I had to had to make sure of that.
I saw you coming around and handshaking and everything. I thought maybe you decided to run for mayor or something.
One of our better recruits, and also Haley Stursick. When she's in the building,
Yep.
you know, I wish I could give her a uniform, but I had to give her a hug, and good to see her. So.
Dug out a win here today, 74-51, Coach, and breezing along, things going relatively well, and all of a sudden, same thing happened like in St. Thomas. Everything just kind of stopped there for about a 6-minute period.
I don't know if I did that by substituting or our mentality kind of changed where we thought we were up 20 and kind of let took our foot off the gas a little bit, but we get bored sometimes, and that this team has a little immaturity with it that way that they've kind of got to work through. And I told them after the game, when we were really good today, we were on. I mean, we got them going in the first half, exploited inside stuff against them. Then when we got to the second half, they zoned and we made some shots there. And we had that one run where they got in the zone, and we got a little rush. We started, doing everything. I don't think our posts were doing a good job making themselves available so you get them the ball. That's hard to do in the zone. And we started going real quick 3-point shots and gave them a little bit of a run in transition to get back within 7 or 8.
Yeah, they got it down to 7, but Casey Kleiner, who had struggled with her shot all game long, hit that clutch 3-pointer that bumped it back out to 10, and then you really pretty much had it under control at that point.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know whether there's a little fatigue involved and stuff, but sometimes when we get into those points, we stop. It's like I guess physically they get a little tired, but their brain slows down for some reason, because it's like the decisions are coming. It's like, all right, that's not, in the first half stuff we're going bang, bang, that's there, take it, go. The second half we're kind of going, it's like real slow motion, like looking like, am I going to throw it in the post? Well, no, there's 3 people there, throw it to Casey or throw it to somebody on the wing, and, we were able to get that momentum back a little bit offensively just to put it away.
Got 5 players in double figures here tonight, 17 by Hahn and Boardman. We talked about the inside game. I thought the real athlete out there today was Allison Riley. She did a nice job coming in for Aaron Quinn today. 14 points on 4 of 5 shooting, hit a couple 3-3-pointers in that process. She also dug out 7 rebounds, 6 on the defensive end.
Yeah, and the critic can tell me I saw a couple plays stand out where she could have had a couple more, so she could have been at 10 rebounds. She just kind of fell asleep on a couple, but she's done a great job, and as the players do and the coaches too, she's one that's easy to root for, because she's paid more than her dues. I mean, there's times she probably thought she could have had chances to play some in the last 3 years, and we were just kind of had some depth that was a little extraordinary that she just didn't get a chance. In practice you could see things, and sometimes she'd get a little frustrated with herself and do some things, but she's been really good this year. She's, like you said, she's been a great help on the boards. She's a capable shooter. We ran a play for her after the one time-out to get her to drive the ball to the basket, because her strength against their people was, she had an advantage on the person who was guarding her. So, you're really happy for her success, and we really needed it. Without Aaron there, and with, I was scared a little bit before the game how we were going to score. I mean, I didn't know if we'd get 50, 55 points. We had 45 the other day. Casey didn't score. We knew that probably wouldn't be the case again, but it was easy to get started, and with they let us, I shouldn't say it was easy, but they let us get started inside, and that kind of opened some things up, and we ended up making some shots. I thought everybody played a pretty good game.
Yeah, all around, you look at the final numbers, everything well there as far as what you would want. You held your opponent to 37% shooting, 2 for 23 from behind the arc. That's going to help the percentages there. And you didn't really let anybody go off. Pesapani gets her points. 19 points, 10 rebounds. She's going to get her points and rebounds. Nobody else really affected you.
She's a good player, and she hunts shots. I mean, she's took 18 shots. That's a lot. That's a pretty high volume to get to to 19 points, but she does a good job on the boards, and she's a tough guard because she can go outside and shoot the ball a little bit, and I thought we took away the post stuff and made her more of a perimeter player for the most part and made her work for those, but we wanted to make sure we were taking away their perimeter people that had shot the ball well in the non-conference and made it challenging for them, and I thought we did a good job of that. We still got to be a little better defensively. I don't, you can have your debate on how the game was called today. I mean, there was a lot of stuff I think either team would have favored being let go, but we got to get better at getting our hands off of people when they drive the ball at us, because some people try to do that and exploit us a little bit, and we want to make sure that we're because we end up kind of driving ourselves into the zone because of the fouls.
Well, now you got to take advantage of this home schedule here, the way that's set up. You got a home game on Wednesday, North Park coming into the gym.
Yeah, and they've played, the league in general, I can't remember, I did the math when I was sitting around last night. The league had a really good non-conference record. I mean, there was an 11-0, a 10-1, I think a 9-2, there's an 8-3, and a couple 7-4s, and I think nobody was worse than 6-5. So it's been a really good start for the league. Now we'll see how it sorts out when they play each other, and we talked about that too. Is that there's a different level. I mean, not that it's extreme athletically a different level, but the knowledge of the other teams, and people have seen our stuff and we've seen their stuff, and what you try to take away and what you allow, and I think we did a pretty good job of taking some stuff away from them and making it a little more challenging for them. I thought because of the lineup they play with the 4 guards, we were able to exploit them inside, and that's something I think you and I talked about before.
Yeah, you got that job done. Well, congratulations, Coach. Win number 1 in the conference, and that's always the best one to get because that keeps you ahead of the 8 ball. Right,
and it's hard. You can't count, to win championships in the conference. You don't count to say, well, we got to get 12 or 13 or 14 or something like that. All you can do is win one and put it in the bank, and they can't, like they say, they can't take that one to you. So we got one. Now we got to try to get North Park on Wednesday and just keep stacking up one at a time and see where that puts you when you start pairing off against everybody else.
Well, thanks, Coach, for coming up. Congratulations on a nice win. We'll see you Wednesday.
Thanks, John.
Head basketball coach Tim Bernero joining us on our postgame here today as the Lady Reds pick up a 74-51 victory over Augustana. That'll wrap up our Lady Reds broadcast here this afternoon. Stay tuned. We've got Redmond basketball for you in just 3 minutes. That's all coming your way next here on 1050 WLIP.